Hello, 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 hello. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening out there, folks? Welcome to another edition of On the Cutting Room Floor. I'm your host, Tony Ray Harvey. You know where I'm broadcasting and podcasting from, the southwest area of the Green Haven pocket area. Let's get past all of, the pleasantries, salutations, and welcoming. Sacramento Kings, they lose again tonight. They fourth straight loss, 121-95 to the Houston Rockets on the road. They were down by at least 26 points in this game. General manager, Scott Perry. Play them guys, them young guys just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Because I'm already seeing that Doug is going in that direction. So I know that has been a discussion between you and him. All right. Doug Christie, okay, head coach, Sacramento Kings. Start playing those young players just a little bit more as we gradually move on. And yes, it does look like there could be a possible roster change, but starting change in the lineup the way Maxime Reynaud played tonight. He had 25 points, 6 rebounds, a couple steals. We'll get all into that later on. He has been progressing just the way they want him. And when they talking about when you get those opportunities, I'm telling you, Max has been clinging on to every single one. He's getting better and better each game as a rookie. The second rounder was picked in the draft in the second round. He's playing like a first rounder. Okay? Sooner or later, Nick Clifford is going to get up to that level anyway. But this game right here is just, hey, look. I don't have to go back over anything like this. Nothing like this. Let me put it like this. Do you want to see the starters get blown out by 45 points, or do you want to see the reserve get blown out by 45 points? Do you want to see that? No. But you do want to see that these young players get on the floor and start putting things together. Start learning from their mistakes. Okay? Start working things out. You do want to see that. I don't want to care about all this, how they going to lose and nothing like this, because the starters right now are not doing it. Zach LaVine played 18 minutes tonight. 1 for 5 from the floor. 0 from 3 in three-point territory. He didn't go to the free throw line. 18 minutes. Played 5 minutes in the second half. 5 minutes in the second half. And, oh my gosh, and we want to talk about the starters. My goodness, folks. We do want to talk about the starters. Okay. DeMar DeRozan, 12 points. Keegan Murray, 5 points. Drew Eubanks, 2 points. Zach LaVine, 2 points. Russell Westbrook did have 12 points. I'm going to put it like this. This organization owe Russell Westbrook an apology. Okay, we done played, 22 games. All right? They done already lost 78% of the games thus far. And they on a 4-game losing streak. And they done lost 13 or 15, their last 15, 14 of the last 16, something like that. And he been giving his all, okay? Malik Monk, I don't know what's going on with Malik Monk. He's coming off the bench on fire. And when he plays with that second unit, it's on. It's on. Between him and Max, they had 50 points from the bench, from the reserve position. I don't know. Maybe Doug just like look, Zach. I'm moving in that direction. Okay, maybe I haven't told you verbally. I don't know what they be talking about. When they're not talking to the press, ain't none of our business, no doubt about that. But this looked like there's going to be a shift. There's going to be a change. There's going to be a trend going somewhere else. This is happening right now because today is December the 3rd. The trading block starts December the 15th, and it goes on until February the 15th. Bless them. Bless them. And I mean, bless their hearts. I understand. I do. I do understand that. I never played a lick of NBA ball, nothing like that. But I've covered Goo Gobs games. Can't even go get all into that. Especially the last 25 seasons that we're talking about here. And still got a long ways to go. Do want to let you know about that. But this is not about me. This is about a team that gave up 71 rebounds. I think they only had 38 themselves, the Kings. They gave up 71 rebounds. 71 rebounds to the Houston Rockets. 17 on the offensive end. 17 on the offensive end. I'm telling you how this is going down. There's got to be a shift. This is almost the unthinkable, the unimaginable, but it's in real time. It is streaming live. Okay? It is streaming live. And they're going to Miami. They don't have another game until December 6th, Saturday, in South Beach. This can continue for a long time. The first half was beautiful, but I was just wondering, when we get to the third quarter, what's going to happen? You get to the third quarter, and oh my gosh. It's 53-51 at the break. 53-51 at the break. And the Kings were leading. Matter of fact, they ended the second quarter on a 7-2 run. That's how they got that lead. DeMar DeRozan hit a tray at the buzzer. But all we know, that this team does not play 48 minutes. Not even close. 48 minutes a game. That third quarter was a disaster. A catastrophe. And just funny that, I've been putting together some reports and stuff like that. And in the meantime, I'm listening to the Drive guys. I'm listening to, Kevin Gleason, Jason Johnson, Kayla Anderson, and getting their thoughts on the game. And then after that, I'm listening to the High Flyer, Henry Turner and Scott Marsh, and getting their perspective on the game, trying to lead up to tip off. And wow. Why I bring that all up? Because it was much more exciting listening to the radio or watching YouTube while they airing their shows than this game. And I kind of figured it was going to happen like this anyway. But when you see, the first half, I'm like, okay, all right, okay, because I'm not falling for the okie doke. I'm not falling for it. And sure enough, okay, flip the script on me. I think Cal Draper for the broadcasting team, NBC Sports Bay Area, did say it was 38. They ended the third quarter. The Rockets ended the third quarter on a 30-8 run, where I believe the Kings might have been up at least about 6 points. I remember Max hitting a basket to get them. Well, Max, bless his heart. Yeah, right. Max hit a basket. It was 61-55. 61-55. Okay, that was early in the third quarter. Then, next thing I know, the Rockets go on a 16-3 run, capped off by a basket by Jabari Smith Jr. at the 4:32 mark, and they was up 71-64. But they didn't stop right there. They did not stop right there. They just kept on going. My guy Kyle Draper mentioned 30-8. I can't even get it out. 30-8 run in that third quarter. What are y'all doing, man? It's one of those things that I wouldn't mind I don't never mind hearing it anyway, but when I get into these spaces with Malik Monk, and he's really a respectable guy, whether what goes on in that locker room or not. The young man is a respectable guy. He talk, he talks, but hey, as a journalist, you gotta be used to that stuff. But this is one thing that he says from time to time since he's been here in Sacramento. You saw what I saw. Y'all watched the game like I watched, like I was, Yes. Gonna spend the same results. Kings getting straight up blown out the water. Poof. My goodness, spittles. Anyway, yeah. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Houston Rockets, who are sitting at the third spot in the Western Conference standings with a 14-6 record. That third quarter, we'll talk about it because the Kings been having issues scoring. But I'm going to tell you. Ime Udoka, they made the Kings disappear. Presto magic. Boom. Poof. You're gone. That defense, they turned up that defense in the third quarter. That's what happened. Okay. These cats, man, they blocking shots. They getting steals. I think they had 10 steals in the game. Kings had 10 steals in the game too. Okay. They rebounding like mad. They getting out on the break. They running. All right. They sharing the ball. They moving around. All these other teams have been doing. Because they got the scouting report on the Sacramento Kings. For real. Kings just fizzled out again. Boy. Now, I know I had been talking about it on my other podcast that I have about 30 minutes. That airs every Tuesdays and Thursday at 8 a.m. If you miss it, then the show repeats itself at 5 p.m. that same day. That's on KYWS 92.9 FM radio. Okay? And I did mention that the last week, because the other day. I did mention that the other day about this pride thing. It seems like these cats only get up when their pride takes a hit. What are we going to do? We're going to gather ourselves and then we're going to play better and stuff. Tonight wasn't even about pride, but that pride game is coming. You know it's coming. Maybe if Doug don't, tweak the starting lineup, which I hope he does. Okay, Max earned it for the next game, without a doubt. He earned that. That young man, that Frenchman, he earned that. And he had to go up against Şengün, Alperen Şengün, okay, who had the Rockets with 28 points. Okay, there was a lot of one-man runs in this game, between two teams. I mean, Max went on one. Malik Monk, he hit like three pointers. I think that was early in the fourth quarter. And of course, Alperen Şengün, he went on like a one-man personal run. It was a lot of that going on, but we know the results, 121-95, Houston Rockets. Nothing else you can say about that. Whoo, boy. Yeah. Malik Monk made like three-pointer. Also, Russell Westbrook, he passes, I think, Tim Duncan on the scoring list, so he moves up to number 17. He's over 24. He's getting close to 25,000. I got to check that out. What was it, 26? I'm sorry. He eclipsed him at 26,498. So he's getting close to 27,000. And he'll get there at the end of the season. He'll, if everything goes right, depending on, how they flip this roster or if they're going to flip this roster. I can tell you right now, the way things is, I mean, everybody been talking about Domantas Sabonis. Of course, they've been talking about DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. Two of the three may still be here after the 15th of February. Something drastically changed. Okay. one of those three or two of those three is going to be here on this roster. No doubt about that. But whatever happens from there, boom, let this youth movement take full course. That's my opinion. And I'm not no coach. I just observe the game and then I critique them. Okay, and we go from there. I just provide commentary. I'm going to tell it like it is, whether it's good or bad, but it's been bad. It's really been bad. Now, the Kings won't be back here until December 11th, where they will take on the Denver Nuggets. This is kind of like, the what's left over of the Commissioner Cups, whatever they call it. Of course, the Kings lost all 4 of their games, so they don't even count. But they have to fill in some of those games, to balance out the schedule, so they can get to 82 games. So they have to play Denver here, which they already played them 3 times. Denver done beat them twice, and they have to play the Minnesota Timberwolves one more time. They're 2-1, 1-2 against them, but they have to play them in the Twin Cities. So yeah, but they'll be back December 11th. But right now, they are on their way to Miami, and I think after that, then what they have, they will take on Indiana, and then they come back home. Then they go on one road game in Portland. They take on the Portland Trailblazers. That's a back-to-back, actually, between 3 days. So they'll play them up in the Northwest, and then they'll come back home and play them again. And that will be on December 20th and 22nd. So that's what we'll be dealing with there. But that's way on out, way on out in the future. Okay, those days are coming, and they are coming quick. Right now, we're going to see if they can stop this streak between now and then. It's going to be hard in Miami. It's really rough on them. And like they always say, and they will say it again, nobody care about what y'all going through, Sacramento Kings. We trying to take care of business. We're trying to win, too. We got to win some stuff, too. As Chris Finch from the Minnesota Timberwolves head coach would say, we're trying to win some stuff, too. Okay? So the Kings, they know where they are, but it was just, man, how can you play the first 24 minutes? Thank goodness to Max. And then the last 24 minutes, it's like, hey, it's like a practice, a run through or something like that. I don't know. It's really, really bad. But I can tell you, I would say in the first 3 minutes, of the first quarter, the Kings were really having issues trying to get rebounds. That's when the Rockets were really ramping it up as far as pulling down rebounds. And Doug, who started Drew Eubanks, he blows a whistle, and that's when he put in Max Renaud, and he went to work. He had 12 points in that first quarter. And the Kings were down 28-26 after the first 12 minutes. He had 12 points in that first quarter. He had 14 points in the first half, 3 rebounds and 1 assist. I forget what. Oh, yeah, he made 6 of 8 shots from the free throw line. Yes, he didn't go. Nobody went to that first quarter. Nobody went to the free throw line. Okay, and Precious Achiuwa, I'm really pleased with his play. He did add 8 points in that first half as well. Okay. But it was Thompson and Durant, Sengun, and Jabari Smith who mainly caused all the damage for the Sacramento Kings. And that's on both ends. Not also were they doing their thing on the offensive end. They was killing it on the defense. They're a really good defensive team. I think I've heard it too before that I think it was Kevin Gleason who mentioned it. This Houston Rocket, only thing standing in their way is the Oklahoma City Thunder. We'll see how that go. Okay, they still only lost 1 game. I'm talking about OKC on the season. All right, and they're looking real good. And they don't even have all these pieces together. Yeah, there was no free throws in that first quarter for the Sacramento Kings. There was 9 lead changes and 7 ties in the first 24 minutes of that game. The Kings was there. Right there. In that third quarter, my goodness. Yep. Max Reno, he hit a basket. And after that, the Rockets said, let's go. Let's go. The Kings just pretty much bent to their will. They went on a 16-3 run, as I mentioned to it. That was capped off by a basket by Jabari Smith at the 4:37 tick of the third quarter. They did close out that third quarter on a 30-8 run, and they led by as many as 18 points in that quarter. They led by as many 26 points in the game. I'm not even going to try to recap the whole game. You can read that in the box, along with the video, as I always contribute to the video. Kind of like a sidekick. Let's put it like that. Give you a little game. I call it toolbox. So you need to get any type of information. I try to be as accurate as possible. You got to be in this business, and especially with the story. Sometimes I got to go back and edit some things like that. Keep checking back. And matter of fact, while you're here, hit that subscribe button if this is your first time coming here, or you've been here for a few times, or hit the like button, or hit them both. Boom. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Because it's going on, win or lose with the Sacramento Kings. This works out. Have to do this. Must do this. Must do this. So, once again, Sacramento Kings, they lose 121-95 to the Houston Rockets on this December 3rd, 2025. The next game is December 6th. That'll be at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay, they will be in Miami. And then after that, they got a game in Indiana. So I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but I do want to thank you for stopping in, and listening to this madness. Everything's going to be all right because we know the Sacramento Kings fan, okay? They don't back down from anything. They're pretty much upset. They are frustrated, but they're going to continue to back this team, support this team till there is no end. And there is no end. There is no end. Now, I just said, a couple of weeks ago with, I heard former GM and coach of the Sacramento Kings, Jerry Reynolds, said, it can't get much worse than this. Can't get much worse than this. It's bad now, but it can't get much worse than this. Keep your head up. I'm out of here. Peace and love.